He's loose again. Edwards off the running. Puts it back down to Edwards. They hand it off to Johnson. Boise State has won. Right now, and they take a downfield shot. And the catch is made. It's Riley Williams. Goes for the free. Touchdown.
All right, everybody, welcome to another episode of the Gridiron Uncensored podcast. It's your boys, Trevor, Brendan, Blake's out tonight. Got some stuff going on, but we got to keep rolling, and we've got Big 12 all in it right now. We're Texas Tech, as you can see the beautiful graphic up on the screen. Can they go for the playoffs this year and win in the Big 12 championship? There's been hype about this team the last couple of years, and each year it's fallen off. Well, we'll talk a little bit about 2024 here in just a minute. Trev, a lot of excitement for this team, the portal class, all these things going on for Texas Tech. It's an interesting team to look at. Let's get into it, man.
It is interesting, but before we do that, let's look at what they did in 2024.
Let's do it. So 2024, interesting, just another interesting year. And even going back to 2023, I won't pull up the schedule, but just it was one of those years that there was a lot of expectations for this team. And then you went out and you lost early to Wyoming and then a tight one to Oregon. Again, that's 2023. Now 2024 comes in. You just get by Abilene Christian. Everybody's like, what the hell is going on with this team? What? Week one? And then you go on the road. You lose to Washington State. But then you start tearing it off. You beat North Texas, which was a good team at the time. You beat Arizona State, which was eventual Big 12 champions, right? And they made the playoffs. You beat Cincinnati, Arizona. And then things just kind of unwound. Baylor got a hold of you. TCU beat you by 1. You sneak a win versus Iowa State. You lose to Colorado, and the rest, you see it there. Arkansas got the win in the bowl game. So now let's move on, and let's look and see, because obviously that year does not matter anymore, 2025. Coaching changes, Trevor, anything with that? And then obviously we'll talk about this incredible portal class for them.
Got a new offensive coordinator coming over from Texas State by the name of Mac Leftwich.
Love it.
He's hired to replace Zach Kitley. New defensive coordinator Sheil Wood, hired from Houston to replace Tim DeRuyter. I'm pretty sure that's close to the name, how he pronounces it.
Hell,
let's see.
We got. Their guy is gone.
Yeah, I don't know. He's gone. He's no longer a Red Raider, so we don't care. Let's see. Other notables would be Rob Green, formerly defensive assistant at Tulane, who was hired as the safeties coach, and Darcel McBeth was promoted to the cornerbacks coach position. And that pretty much rounds out some of the more notable ones.
Yeah, offensive wise, I like the coordinator change. I like what Texas State had been doing, and keeping it inside the state too. You want to keep that Texas coaching tree. That's a big thing. So they like having that gentleman Leftwich coming up. Sheil Wood's an interesting one coming up from Houston. Obviously, Houston's defense at times was strong, but others it was iffy. But the team also had problems too. So we've covered Houston, already in our previews. Interesting hire. Curious to see what fans think about it. Let us know in the comments. But either way, changes were made. They want to push. They're tired of people talking about them with hype and then falling off the train. They want that actual hype to carry into the season and push them towards the Big 12 championship. We talk about all the time, this conference is searching for somebody to really step up and become that flagship program. And last year we saw Arizona State come out of the woodwork and do it. The big dogs are, from the conference that have been there for a long time, are in the wings. They're waiting. Oklahoma State, Kansas, Texas Tech. Who's going to do that? And Texas Tech right now with the portal, it's looking real good. They're like, hey, we got money too, baby. We can dish it out now. And they sure as hell did. They came in with the second-ranked portal class in the country. And it's not just based on volume. This is based on quality.
It's all about quantity. It is not, or quality, not quantity here, folks.
Absolutely. And you look at the other numbers from this team and why there's the hype. To me, last year wasn't there. I didn't believe in them. 2023, I did. 2024, I didn't. But this year, I'm back to believing because look at the numbers. Returning production, 73%. That's one of the tops in the country. S&P Plus from Bill Conley, 26th in the country. Again, if you don't know what S&P Plus is, it's a mix of recruiting, portal, past performances, things like that, and taking advanced stats from the year before into this one. So now you're taking what they had last year, plussing up, and seeing this team's got some room to really make some noise in this 2025 season. Let's go look at the portal, Trev. What are you seeing on like who stands out the most? Because to me, I mean, god dang near everybody's.
Do you want to know what stands out to me out the most? Is that their entire portal class can start.
Yeah.
That's what stands out to me, is that every single one of these guys played downs at another school at some point in time. And they can all start based off of what I'm looking at, some of the stats and everything. Every single one of these guys could walk in and start playing tomorrow with very little effort. But we're talking about the most impressive. Micah Hudson is one that I think will make a huge impact in the receiving game for them. Former 5-star coming over from Texas A&M.
Yeah, he's an interesting. Not to cut you off. It's just an interesting situation with him because he's a young guy. He played for Texas Tech last year, and then he commits. He's like, I'm going to transfer. I'm getting out of here. Goes to Texas A&M, and then after the spring, he's like, you know what? I miss Lubbock. I'm going back. I'm going back.
I'm going to drive the 3 or 4 hours back or whatever it is. It's probably more than that, actually.
It's a lot longer, but it's a wide range from Texas A&M out there.
But and then honestly, it's the receiving and tight end for me. So the other wide receiver that I made a note of was Reggie Virgil coming over from Miami of Ohio.
Yeah,
and then the tight end Terrence Carter Jr. coming over from the Raging Cajuns. Now, I don't particularly put him in as a tight end, but they have him listed as such. But he's 6'2", 239. Now, that's a bigger wide receiver, but I wouldn't necessarily put him. But if he's 239 and he's able to block, that would be a good thing for them. Offensively, there was one other one. Quentin Joyner from Southern Cal. Was the other one that I made note of as far as offensive side of the ball of being a real big pickup for them and someone that can really make an impact from game number 1 of the season.
Absolutely. And, you mentioned Carter Jr. at the tight end position. I feel like he's going to be in the mold of Harold Fannin Jr., who played for Bowling Green last year. Kind of a smaller body, but he's a mismatch. And so you have him stepping into that role with what they already have on the roster. I like the weapons that Morton's going to have. And to me, when you're talking about Big 12 quarterbacks, Beren Morton is a guy that you have to mention. I don't think he gets enough love nationally.
No, he doesn't.
The dude, I mean, last year, 3,300 passing yards, 27 touchdowns, 8 interceptions. And he's not a runner if he doesn't have to. Last year, a little more sacks than actually getting on the ground. But he's not immobile. He doesn't. They don't run him. And to me, there's no need to when you have talent.
That's really never been Texas Tech's MO. It's been these quarterbacks sit back and they sling it. They just sling the ball everywhere.
And this guy is the epitome of a gunslinger. He can do it. And we're talking 63%, completion percentage. And that's what we mentioned on the last show, Trev, on the last episode. Who was it? Avery Johnson.
Avery Johnson, yeah.
And we're like, you get into that 61, 62, 63%. Okay, now you're pushing, extra wins. And that's something that Beren Morton can do. And I really liked him going into last year. and of course now. So them having him alone is huge for winning ball games. Veteran quarterback that can do it all. You mentioned, I mean, we'll just keep going in, offense. You mentioned it, Joyner, Quentin Joyner coming in. He's got Jacoby Williams with him in the backfield. I think that losing Taj Brooks sucks, but you have guys that can get in there and replicate those yards. The biggest question, wide receiver look, I think is nice. We mentioned Virgil coming in, Hudson's back after leaving a little bit. You got Easkin, Douglas. You've got guys out wide that can catch the football for Morton. Tight ends. It's the offensive line. How does this offensive line create the push up front to get the running game really going, to take some of the weight off the quarterback? But also, like we mentioned, you've got to be able to continue drives, sustain drives. And offensive line, they've got strong talent already, what they had. You've already returning Sheridan Wilson, which is good up front, Davion Carter, and then you bring in offensive line talent from the portal, from across the country. Howard Sampson coming in from North Carolina. That's a guy that they're excited about. Will Jadis coming in from Miami, Ohio, a couple of Miami, Ohio guys. So you have pieces. Zambrano also coming up. He's rated a 4-star, 93 overall, and he's one that came in from the FCS side. So they went out and got the best names in the portal because they know that they have what it takes to push. Trev, I'm excited about this team, offensive line wise. Do you think they can manage with plugging in the portal? I
think they can plug. They did a good job of plugging in the portal, but honestly, I'll point to you. I'll just point out that they brought in also quite a few from the recruiting trail as well. To my count, I have 7 offensive linemen from interior and tackle position. Just coming in for just the recruiting trail. Yeah. Now, it doesn't necessarily mean that any one of them can start right away, but I mean, one of these kids, he's a inside offensive lineman, 6'5", 295 as a freshman. I mean, that's a kid that I feel like if he picks everything up well enough, could be at least a sub piece where he could spell guard or even the center if they have to.
Yeah.
But I think that they have enough right now to make do with the offensive line. But like you said, they did not make it a priority in the transfer portal. I think they have 3 offensive linemen in the transfer portal. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 4.
Cash Cleveland also coming over from Colorado later.
Yeah. So I mean, I think they have enough. I do. I think they have enough depth.
Yeah, I agree.
But with everything, even though, okay.
What are you feeling, buddy?
Here's my thing: is that while we are toting the fact that they were able to put together this phenomenal transfer portal class, and it's great, and everybody's happy. I can only think of one other team that we were so excited. Oh my God, they're gonna go all the way, and they didn't do shit. No. And this is I'm not saying Texas Tech, this is not necessarily going to be you. However, be careful on overhyping the transfer portal.
Yeah, that's fair.
Be careful to overhype it, because this is I'm not going to say a team's name because I've said it before. You guys should probably know it by now. If I name drop it, I just open up with a can of worms. I'm not going to do that. But
they're in the ACC.
They're in the ACC, and they don't do shit now.
Go give us your guesses. Who do you think we're talking about?
Throw them in the comments. Throw them in the comments on what team you think I'm talking about. So anyway, but that's all I'm saying. Cautionary tale. Let's not overhype the transfer portal. Let's see how everything shakes out after summer camps and moving into the fall. I think they've done a great job. I think there's a lot of great players here. It's just a matter of how everybody well, gels together. I know we've said that word a few different times over the past couple episodes, but it's the truth, unfortunately.
Yeah. It is, and it's just again, it goes to culture and in coaching. They got some good guys up front, and it depends on how well they gel together. If they do what their rankings say, all these things say,
Right.
this team will be at the top of the Big 12. And I think most people are finally getting on that bandwagon of, okay, Texas Tech, they mean business. Now, let's go ahead and look at the defensive side, because, I don't think the offense is going to be a problem with the weapons that they have. Offensive lines where we need to see these guys step up. D-line, though, they went and got some really nice players on the D-line, edges, interior. You're talking Lee Hunter, which is the top end dude from UCF. Romello Height coming in from Georgia Tech. David Bailey was very good. Stanford. He's at 6'3", 250 edge rusher. They brought dudes up front, and that's something, Trevor, that you mention all the time. You've got to go on the front end, get your edge rushers, get your defensive linemen, and that's what Texas Tech did. They know I have to stop the run. I have to be able to generate a pass rush with just 4. And that's what they did. Yeah, what do you think about those guys up front there, Trev?
I mean, I can't complain about them. I wouldn't if Texas Tech was my team, I'd be super happy about these guys coming in.
I'd be ecstatic.
I'd be super happy about it. But yeah, like I said, like we'll see how everything shakes out. But the Romello Height, I was just like, man, they got him. Good Lord. He's such a good player. I enjoyed watching him at Georgia Tech. He's a solid player. I like Lee Hunter. Man, Lee Hunter's size alone is just like he's gonna move somebody around.
Oh yeah.
But yeah, I think overall I like their focus, honestly.
And even Gil Howard coming in from NIU, so that you're up front, and that's just portal guys. Whatever you have on the roster already, you plus up there.
And don't get me wrong. I mean, they still brought in kids for the D line and linebacker positions through the recruiting trail. It's just the recruiting trail was not, I don't want to say lackluster, but it was kind of middle of the road, middling, as they say, I guess. A bunch of 3 stars, a couple 4 stars, really solid, good depth pieces, I feel like.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't mean that like the 4-star wide receiver they got, Tristan Gentry, doesn't mean that he can't make an impact, which he potentially could for sure.
Yeah.
But with the wide receivers that they're bringing in right now with the transfer portal, it's gonna be he's gonna have to work really hard to get playing time this season.
Yeah.
And same goes for their 3-star that they picked up, to Bryson Jones, both out of Texas, which is good. Both 1 5'11", 1 6'1 and a half, I think is good. But as far as the defense goes, they got one D lineman that I saw, one linebacker. It was not a focus on the recruiting trail. It looks mostly the offensive side of the ball on the recruiting trail. But I don't know, Brendan. I feel like they did enough for me to feel confident that they did enough to shore up the defense at least.
Yeah. And we've mentioned too, you can't just, even in this episode, you can't just go fully on transfer portal. It's a huge piece to plug holes, but you have to build that foundation in the recruiting class that fit the culture. And, I do think that Texas Tech understands that. And, they're still trying that. Otherwise, they'd probably have a 40, 50 man, portal class like some others that you see. But this is a solidified head coach. This is a team that knows what they want, and now they've got money, backing this play. So the rest of the defense, we talked about the defensive line. I think it'll be very dangerous. Get these guys rolling and really amp up that pressure on these Big 12 quarterbacks. But when you look at the rest of it, linebackers, they came back from last year and they played really hard considering the circumstances that they were playing in. And a lot of tackles between the two of them. So I think that linebacker class is going to be just fine, especially with an improved front. And then defensive backs, really, to me, that's the question mark, is the secondary depth. They got good dudes coming in. With Wisniewski coming up from North Dakota State. So that's a guy, he's 6'4", 218 at safety. I mean, that's a great body right there to throw back. Balfour coming in from Charlotte at cornerback, 6'2". Amir Boyd from UTEP. You're going out across the state, across the country, and getting players. Bryce Pollock coming up from Mississippi State. That's one they're excited about at corner. Another one of the top corners in that portal class. They're, hey, come out to Lubbock. I mean, you're already in Starkville. Come out to Lubbock. Let's go. They've got guys that can immediately plug and play, like you mentioned early in the show. Any of these guys can start anywhere. Excuse me if I can get my words out. So yeah, this is an exciting team. The hype is there. I've bought in. We're gonna do conference preview shows and shit later in the line. You guys burned me in 23. Don't do it again this year, damn it! I swear to God, don't do it again. But either way, I like seeing what you guys got. So you guys let us know how you're feeling on them, because right now I like what I'm seeing. Trev, let's look at the schedule and see if the roster and what we see on paper matches what they're actually going to be going up against. And initially, all right. So you play UAPB, Austin P over there in Lubbock. You got Kent State, which was absolutely disgusting. Last couple seasons, to put it lightly. Oregon State, do not take this team lightly. Obviously, with Texas Tech's last couple of seasons, we know how that stuff's gone. It's not the same Oregon State, from being the Pac-12 days, but I think they've done a really good job at keeping up with losing that Power 5 status. Oregon State's got Malik Murphy now. They've got guys around him that they've built. It's a program to watch out for. We mentioned it in the Group of 5 series as a team to watch. Utah, up and up. Dampier is there. Going to be a more explosive offense to pair with their strong defense. Watch out. That's obviously, to me, a big matchup in Salt Lake. Trev, what are you seeing? What do you think about the schedule? Where's their choke up games, or what do they need to circle?
God bless, man.
It's not easy. It's Big 12. It's hard to freaking tell, man.
Well, I don't necessarily think any one game necessarily. However, they go 7 straight weeks with a game.
Yeah.
That's rough. They don't have a break. 7 straight weeks. They go darn near 2 months. Darn near 2 months straight with a game every Saturday. And I mean, they get a week off for September 27th, that Saturday, and their next week off is not until November 22nd.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying that grind, we'll see how well they come out of it.
It's tough.
They have Kansas in this. They have Oklahoma State, who should be improved. They have to play at Kansas State, which will not be an easy game. BYU coming into Lubbock, which is nice. UCF should be a win. I would hope BYU should be a win. But then after all that grind, you get a week off, and then you get to go to West Virginia to finish your season out, which they should be very much improved as well, I think.
Yeah.
So what's the over-under they got on this?
They have an 8.5. It's
possible.
So
it's certainly possible.
I don't give a damn.
I'll take the over. I'll take the over on that. I think 9. I think 9's possible.
You win the first 3. Oregon State,
4.
I think it'll be tough, but I think
they win the first 4. Personally,
so you beat Utah. That it'll be a tough game. It's in Salt Lake. That's a tough one, but you beat them. You beat Houston coming out of the bye. You beat Kansas. Arizona State's going to be tough. Oklahoma State's an interesting one. 6. Kansas State's tough.
That's a no. I think they lose to Kansas State.
So even say you lose to Utah Arizona State, and Kansas State. You beat the rest. I mean, there's your 9
There's
wins.
your
right
9.
there. I agree. I'm
Yep.
taking the over. A couple of toss-ups. You cannot let the shit that's kept you down do it again. And it's happened year in and year out, Texas Tech. You guys have got to step this shit up and finish out. I want to believe.
Focus.
Oh my gosh. Yes, focus, please do it. Finish the job, man. Oh, Jesus. Let me know what you guys think. Let us know in the comments. Are you taking the over? Or you feel like it's going to be the same old story and they're going to drop a game to somebody that they absolutely should not? And I don't know, man. I think they get things rolling this year, and they're right in it again for the Big 12 and for a playoff spot. But you can't choke it up. The good thing is, too, you get the auto bid. So even the Big 12, you beat each other up, and even if you're a 3-loss champion, you're getting in the playoffs. So, that's at least a blessing. We'll see what happens.
We'll see what happens. I think that Texas Tech among of my count now. I think I have 4 teams that could potentially challenge for the Big 12 title. I think is what I have right now. And I mean the transfer portal supports that a little bit with me.
Yeah.
With what they added as actual playing starters. They added all of them were potential starters. So I just think that they're set themselves up for a good potentially a good season. So I'll be watching with great intrigue this season with Texas Tech.
Absolutely. I'm ready to see what Morgan can do with some big bodies, outside and get that running game going. But again, you guys let us know what you think. Let us know what we may be overlooking. Why should we have more confidence in this team, or hell, maybe even less, depending on what you feel about this team going into 25.
That's right. Faithful, like, subscribe, share it to the faithful.
Amen.
And talk about it.
We want all the Texas Tech fans talking to us about it.
Let's go. Come on. We'll talk ball all day with you.
Yeah. Hey, that's what we're here for, baby. Let
That's
us
right.
know. We'll see you guys around. Have a good night.
Take care. Night.